This is AUB's Innovation Park on Virgin Radio. My name is Arthur. We have Jessica with us, who is the Deputy Director / CEO, COO, CFO, no? Okay, just the Deputy Director and Board Member at Nawaya Network. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Arthur. I'm very happy to be here on the show today. And I want to thank as well AUB Innovation Park for hosting me and for allowing us, mostly the Nawaya Network, to actually talk about our various programs, our mission, our scope of work, and everything we do for this country we dearly love.
You know, a lot of people, you might actually not know this, but I actually almost made Nawaya Network go bankrupt.
Oh God, should I know more the details, or we censor this part?
Actually, when Nawaya was still very young, I met with Zein. So Zein is a very dear friend. So Zein is the founder of Nawaya Network, and in 2015, I was working with Startup Megaphone, and we were doing a very big event in Singapore. And then I met with Zeina, and I was telling her about the event, and then I told her it's going to cost about $5,000, and back then Nawaya was still so young.
Yeah, we opened in 2012, by the way.
And then I took her out for coffee, you know, for a coffee meeting, and then she actually got convinced. And then for 3 years afterwards, she was telling me like, I am still paying my debts because of your event. And she refused to have coffee with me moving forward.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure to relay this message to Zeina. So I think she owes you a coffee.
That is true. That is true. So we're gonna be back after these songs about coffee, and yeah, listen in.
Sounds great.
This is AUB's Innovation Park on Virgin Radio. We have Jessica with us from Nawaya, and my name is Arthur. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion and the entrepreneur in residence of AUB's Innovation Park. Jessica, what does Nawaya Network do? I know you guys do a lot, but what do you exactly do?
Yeah, very good question. Well, the Nawaya Network, we tackle different kind of pillars. The pillar of entrepreneurship, of employment, and of economic development. We focus on youth, starting the age of 17 years old, and even recently we started enhancing the livelihoods of people who are aged even in their 50s, mostly women, in different in different areas in Lebanon, mostly in the northeast Bekaa, with one of our programs called ARD, Action for Rural Economic Development, that is funded by the European Union.
So basically what you do is that you find people that a lot of others might neglect, and then you give them the resources, the expertise, the mentorship, the network to be able to actually succeed in life, right? Because I remember that's how Nawaya started.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it started. It's very good, but how we evolved, it's even better. And this is the juicy part.
Oh, you're so good at this.
The thing is, the Nawaya Network usually aim to focus on training and limited kind of coaching. Throughout the years, we evolved from training into advanced training, coaching into advanced coaching, and even mentorship. And recently, in one of our programs that is called GIL, Generation of Innovation Leaders, which is funded by UNICEF.
Who comes up with the names?
Usually, it's us with the donors. It's a joint effort. The thing is, when GIL came to life, it was in 2016. And if you see how GIL started and how GIL evolved, you will notice that entrepreneurship itself has evolved, because it's not only training and giving funding to youth. It's actually training and provide additional customized kind of business trainings.
And then giving them funding.
And
we still give them funding.
We give them funding.
Youth people, you youth out there, if you want money, just talk to Jessica.
Talk to me, but I have to say something quite important. We don't give cash in terms of funding.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that after these songs. So we're going to listen to some Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. And
love them both.
A dash of Ariana Grande, and then we'll be back.
Perfect.
This is Innovation Park with Virgin Radio. My name's Arthur. We have Jessica with us in the studio. We're having so much fun. So if you see my new Tinder profile, it's the selfie that me and Jessica actually just took together. Jessica, we were talking about money. We were talking about giving money to the youth.
Yes.
But that's not what Nawaya is all about, right?
No.
It's more about developing the youth first.
Exactly.
Giving them the opportunities,
yes.
And you give them cash without giving them cash. What does that mean?
Perfect. We give them cash without giving them cash. I love this.
Do we tease them with money? Do we make them look at the money and it's like, can you see it? Can you smell it? But you cannot touch it.
This is too harsh on the youth if I actually do that. Imagine I just like to tease them in that way. It's going to be quite harsh for them. I don't like to hurt their feelings.
They're not a teaser.
Not in that area. What I'm going to say here is, at Nawaya, we developed a strong management system called procurement. The procurement system, this is where we provide cash to the suppliers whom are going to be selling their their equipment, their material, their physical resources, any kind of physical resources, to help these youth in launching or even in scaling up and developing their businesses. So it's not giving cash, it's funding them by going through the procurement management
That's
process.
smart, because most of the youth are going to use that money on drugs. So this
Or on
way,
any other kind of delinquent behaviors, and we want to really limit this kind
exactly.
of, yeah.
So we don't support drugs people. You know,
No,
stay in
far
school,
from
say
that.
no to drugs. So,
Yes.
so just to sum up. So
Yes.
if I'm a young person, I want to build a business. So I create a business plan. I'm like, for me to succeed, I need to buy this material from this supplier. I need to pay this consultant, and I need these resources. And then I give that to you, and then you get it for me, so you pay these suppliers.
Very good introduction. But in fact, this is not how it happens, because there are some program eligibility criteria.
Amazing.
So not
And
anyone
we will
can
talk
actually
about
apply.
that. What's your favorite song?
Wow, I love Bruce Springsteen, Tougher Than the Rest.
Awesome. So let's listen to Tougher Than the Rest. So we're talking right now about how to build your business through the Nawaya Network and the type of support. So
Yes.
Jessica, you were explaining to us about the system
Yes.
on how it works.
Exactly. The thing is, we have some program eligibility criteria. Not every
That's a lot of big words. What does that mean?
Yeah, indeed. Whenever we have to train youth, there are some criteria in the outreach, at the outreach activity, at the outreach dimension, where we see if they are fit the criteria in terms of vulnerability, in terms of areas. Because at Nawaya, we are focusing on Beirut and Mount Lebanon under the entrepreneurship program, which is funded by UNICEF. There is our partner in Jazz is focusing more on the northern part of the country. So,
So
we
where,
have to.
where can people find this information?
On the website, we go to nawaya.org.
How do you
can
write
see
that? So it's Nawaya,
NAWAYA.org.
N-A-W-A-Y-A. That sounds like a song.
YMCA, no.
N-A-W-A-Y-A. Okay, .org. And then
Exactly.
they can find all the information if they're...
Everything. They can find all the scope of work, or our programs, who's funding us, the scope of work of each program, our mission, our values, and even if they are eligible to apply. So they don't lose their time. And this is a message to you, youth. If you really want to apply, you should really check the program eligibility criteria, meaning if you fit and if you qualify to apply to the program. And if you do so, this is where you can go to the apply feature on the top right part of the website, and you can check the various sign-up forms and,
And then we'll give you a
applications.
lot of money, but without giving you the money.
And you know what? When they are trained, I think this is very important because it's an additional knowledge for them. So whether they are trained and they move into coaching and then into funding, even if you take 25 to 30% for them to go into funding, at least they have benefited at the level of training and coaching by enhancing their knowledge.
What is that song, Give Me a Dollar? A dollar is all I need. What's it called?
Need a Dollar by Aloe Black.
Amazing. Let's listen to that.
I love it.
This is AUB's Innovation Park. I have Jessica with me today from Nawaya Network. So Jessica, you guys are actually helping people build their companies, especially working with the youth, the underprivileged, even the elderly now, right? So you help them turn their ideas into success stories.
Yes.
You don't just give them money.
Indeed.
You give them mentorship, you give them the network, you give them everything that they need to be able to
Exactly.
succeed.
Yes.
What is an advice that you have for everyone listening?
An advice for everyone listening, whether you're entrepreneurs already or whether you're an entrepreneur to be, you really need to think about coming up with an innovation in your business idea. Because whenever we have youth or even women age 40, 50 years old, we need to think a lot about if this business idea can actually be converted into a sustainable business. Because now what we're facing with everything happening socioeconomically, financially, etc., whether in Lebanon or whether in the region, we notice that whenever the idea is not innovative, it doesn't last and it doesn't sustain. So whether you're an entrepreneur already, try to get your finance in order. Try to keep on having a good business mentor.
I think long term.
Yeah, on the
That's
long
where
term.
innovation plays such a
Yeah.
huge role, right? Like you need to have such a big vision. That's why I love Elon Musk, because Elon Musk's vision is not to send spaceships. They don't care. Their vision is to actually create to create a new settlement on Mars, because they believe it's the backup of humanity in case something happens to Earth, which is out of our control. Like let's say an asteroid hits.
External factors,
You
yeah.
still have like a backup hard drive. So that is their vision, which is really, really cool. I feel like we need to listen to something about Mars or Rocket Man. What about Rocket Man?
We can do E.T. by Katy Perry.
Let's do E.T. followed by Rocket Man, then Lemon Tree. We had such a cool show today. Jessica, quick question. How do people connect with you?
With me as Nawaya?
Well, are you Nawaya or are you Jessica?
Yeah, because honestly, in addition of being
That's
the
my
deputy
question,
director
okay.
of Nawaya, I'm a business lead mentor. So if they want to connect to me to become me to be my mentee, they can connect on my Instagram. There is JAS_entrepreneur. It's my Instagram page.
JAS_entrepreneur.
Yes,
Amazing.
and this is where how they can actually ask me to be their mentor and help them in their business, business startups, development, and even how to get into
And
the
if it's
market.
Nawaya, then it's
If it's
nawaya.org.
Indeed.
NAWAYA.org. I love that.
Nawaya.
Any final words that you want to, say before we end this show?
I want to mention something regarding entrepreneurship. Even if we have actually helped 16,000 beneficiaries since 2012, because we've been operational for 14 years, and we helped finance almost 1,900 MSMEs,
So I've
and
helped
50% of them are women.
16,200.
Yeah.
You guys are doing amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You just wanted to add 100, yeah? And we've even had 50% of these MSMEs female-led. This doesn't mean that they haven't been facing challenges. And I always tell, whether my employees, my program staff, or even my mentees, something very important, which is success is not final, and failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. And this is one of my favorite quotes. And if we think about it, this is a message to all of you, whether you're employed, whether you're entrepreneurs, or whether you're employed but you want to have your own business, because we all might think at some point we want to have our own business. Think about this statement, because the road is going to be bumpy.
Perfect. Think about this statement. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. We'll be back. We had such a cool show today on AUB's Innovation Park with Virgin Radio. My guest today is Jessica, who is the Deputy Director of Nawaya, and Zeina is their lovely founder, who I love so much. And they're doing amazing stuff. Check out nawaya.org. That's NAWAYA. And this show is brought to you by the Talal Al-Madi Zein AUB Innovation Park, because our aim with AUB is to actually help you become a successful entrepreneur. We've currently supported so many companies, and all of our startups are now raising funds, going global. We build relationships in San Francisco with amazing investors. We have a new campus in Cyprus as well, where we just invested in 3 of our companies and sent them to Cyprus. We have partnerships in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We're building other partnerships in Qatar and in all of Europe. So if you want to build a business, go to our website. It's aub.edu.lb/iPark, or just Google AUB and Innovation Park. You'll find all of the details. Come to our events, get to know us, build your relationships in the ecosystem, meet amazing people like Jessica, who is mentoring our companies and mentoring our startups. My name is Arthur. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion and the entrepreneur in residence of AUB's Innovation Park. And if you join us, I'm also going to be working directly with you to help you become a successful entrepreneur. I can't wait to see you next week.